We've got some exciting news. If you happen to be a flipper in the game, Velocity Mortgage has made some aggressive changes. They want to serve the experienced flippers. And for those out there looking to buy portfolios, we can also talk about blanket loans. We're going to, of course, have this conversation with the one and only Mr. Stephen Dow. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. Yourself, Mike?
I'm doing well. Do me a favor, get that marketing spiel out of the way so we can have a discussion about what's what.
Thank you again. Although I work very happily for Velocity Mortgage Capital, all the ideas and topics discussed on this channel, that of my own. So let's get it going.
Well, which one do you want to hit first? You want to talk blanket loans first, or you want to talk about this new and exciting program for experienced flippers? Your dealer's choice.
Okay. Well, I think blanket loans initially because with the fix and flip or ARV Pro, it's going to be a little bit more complex. I think we're going to need a little bit more time with that.
Okay.
Basically, with the blanket loans, because I don't think we've talked about it in a while, so I just want to keep it kind of refreshed. I've seen actually quite, I wouldn't say a lot, but I've seen a little bit of an increase of interest with these types of deals. So I thought I'd just mention it again. Blanket loans or portfolio loans is where I could finance multiple properties at the same time under one loan. So the rules of engagement are typically any combination of a 1 to 4 unit residential non-owner occupied property. So it could be, a group of duplexes plus a single family, a triplex, a fourplex, all mixed in together. The only other stipulation is if it's in a purchase, it all has to come from the same seller, all has to be located in the same state. And hopefully they're located specifically in cities that are, densely populated so we can find comps, right? Just general stuff. Otherwise, max 75% LTV. Same other, great aspects about no ratio. So no tax return, no peso, no W-2, no DSCR. So that's been kind of like, helpful. And also the 90% CLTV also applies. So technically you get a blanket loan with putting 10% down on multiple properties. So it is technically, an option. You just have to find the right scenario.
No, this stuff is coming. I want people to hear me. This cycle we're going through the next 18 to 24 months are going to be harder than the last couple of years. Lots of people need to get out, want to get out. Lots of old timers don't want to go through another recession. I think a blanket loan is going to play. In fact, you and I talked about a blanket loan. I was trying to buy 6 houses here about 6 or 9 months ago. We got in contract. We were talking about doing a blanket loan versus one at a time. Blanket loan probably would have made sense. But obviously during inspections, I found some, no-go things. So we backed out. But blanket loans, what I'm saying is there are sellers who want one buyer.
Right.
And want to get out. I think about a 14 package deal that Olivia and I did about 2 years ago. The blanket loan is perfect. And oh, by the way, it could have been a 90% CLTV because the seller wanted some money now, right? A chunk, and was willing to carry. So again, this is people, the tool is there. Understand it.
Agreed. And I think along with the blanket loan, sometimes you can maybe negotiate maybe a better deal because if you're going to pick up all of his inventory instead of just 1 or 2, then I think, like you said, they prefer just one, buyer, just one and done, and just be like, okay. And you might be able to negotiate slightly better pricing too. So there is, opportunity there for at least negotiating. So, but just worth at least a phone call or email and kind of start from there. Yeah.
No, absolutely.
Now, as far as on our new ARV Pro or fix and flip product, basically, we're trying to attract a more, seasoned flipper. So as of tomorrow, we're no longer doing first-time flippers. Just found that there's some, added issues with that. Bars, they don't know.
They don't know. Risky.
That's the first time. Risky. Yeah, a little bit more risk. So long story short, a more seasoned, more experienced flipper. There's tiers to this. 1 or more, successful flips along with exits is tier 3. 2 or more is tier 2, and 5 or more is tier 1. Tier 1, you're able to get up to 85% loan to cost, sometimes 90 if you are, pretty seasoned.
So define loan to cost, so people don't know that term.
So yeah, basically we would be covering about 90% of the purchase price, or let's just say 85, because 90 is more of a much more, higher caliber.
85, no problem.
85, right. We found that's pretty aggressive even in this market, but at 85 loan to cost, I would be covering 85% of your purchase price, so at least 50% down, and sometimes anywhere from 85 to 100% of your rehab budget.
Exactly. No, this is when you're thinking loan to cost, folks. It's not only the purchase; it's potentially also the remodel, the repairs, the make ready, whatever you want to call that. And that'll be done in what, 2 or 3 draws? How is that typically handled?
It's mainly on a disbursement kind of schedule, not so much a draw.
Or
So,
disbursement, sorry, disbursement.
right. No, that's okay. Just so that borrowers kind of understand conceptually that you're kind of getting the money after the fact, once the work's
Right.
been done and verified,
Right.
done up to code, then we release the money. So, but yes, it's typically in about 3 disbursements.
Yeah. Again, and
But
again, I think
otherwise,
this is pretty awesome. And again, no first time flippers, a little too risky.
nope.
They don't know what they don't know.
Mhm.
Painful.
Yep.
But again, you have tiers, right? 1 or more, 2 or more, 5 or more. And there's a lot of people out there doing that. Hopefully you're doing it below the median. If it, you know, hopefully you're taking slumlord properties and turning them into first time home buyer homes. That would be my hope for the
Right.
audience. Yeah.
And that, again, that's who we're trying to look for. That's who we were trying to, attract, because again, we found that the market does want that kind of more of aggressive product, but that usually, we want a more experienced borrower from that standpoint. So we do want to, make it more attractive for that type of clientele to, again, I think we would just have a higher, success rate. Because again, they know what they're doing. If they're doing it successfully, then why not kind of team up with them as well as, with us? Because unlimited amount of loans, that's typically where they kind of fall short. If they do find a financer that's a little bit more aggressive, where we've now taken this up to that 85, 90% loan to cost, but they usually run out of money. I mean, again, I could just go to New York Stock Exchange. I'm publicly traded.
Well, look at that. Look at, how many people have looked up Velocity Mortgage? They are publicly traded. This is why he's on the channel. They are not,
yes, sir.
They're not some rich family who's got, a certain set that's lendable, and then they wait for it to come back. This is a different animal that we have here with Velocity Mortgage.
Yes, Mike. Yes, sir. So other than that, I mean,
well, I got one more thing to talk about, just because I want to, I want people to realize that the Arnold Schwarzenegger, he showed everybody how to get rich. We're talking about house hacking houses and fourplex.
Mm-hmm.
Good old Arnold Schwarzenegger said, "Screw that. I'm going to house hack a sixplex."
Yep.
And again, Velocity Mortgage does not do owner occupied residential, but you will do an owner occupied 6 unit and above.
Right. 5 units and above.
5 and above. Right.
So, and I remember I saw the video of Arnold talking about this lady. I want to say like a realtor lady or Asian lady. And she was like, "What are you doing?" You might, "No, you shouldn't do that." And she talked him into buying this place. And that's how he became a millionaire. He told that story. I saw that, like you said. So yeah, apartment hacking basically.
Yeah.
And applying the 90% CLTV. You know what I mean? They're out there. I promise you, they're out there. And if you're in the right position, like where you can, kind of jump into that situation, maybe beginner investor, smaller family, for bachelor, small couple, something like that. You can live in the 1 unit, rent out the other 4. I mean,
live like a king. You got no shelter cost. Oh yeah,
right,
dude. If it worked for Arnold Schwarzenegger in the 70s or 60s or whenever that happened, it'll work today. And again, folks, what I would tell you to do in this environment, given that I think the next 2 years will be harder than the last 2, is get your head right, get your mind right. Realize that opportunity comes in chaos. Where there's great pain, there's great opportunity. Exactly. It's your job to go seek it, to get your mind right. Keep doing the work. Look every day. Keep networking. Reach out to Stephen Dow at Velocity Mortgage if you think you might have something, so he could be your eyes, your ears, help you structure. If somebody wanted to do that, Stephen, how would they reach out?
Always email's the best. That's going to be to SDAO@velocitymortgage.com. In the subject line, please put the acronym ORAAT to make it past the firewall. Body of the email, maybe a brief description, what you're looking for. Address would really be super helpful. At least city and state to make sure I can lend there. Your mid-FICO score also help. And of course, best phone number to reach you at in typically 24, 48 hours. I'll be in touch.
Awesome, buddy. Thank you so much.